I'm Paula Shea Queen Farve, CEO and founder of Naturally For Me Shea Butter LLC. Native of a small town called Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, but I currently reside in Seattle, Washington. I'm a mother, grandmother. I'm number 13 of 14 kids. How amazing is that? I'm an Army veteran and I'm a survivor of domestic violence, childhood and adult sexual trauma, and PTSD. I'm currently writing a book called Can't Keep Running Away, and I'm a co-author of an anthology, My Walk Past Hell by Dr. Yolanda Jerry. Today, I'm going to tell you about 3 key points of how to gain from your pain. Number 1 is how to overcome adversity. How to overcome adversity. I say embrace it. Don't run from it or it will resurface. Face it head on and learn from it. With every lesson comes a blessing. I'm going to tell you about a short story about me, about how I overcame. All right, imagine you're on your 3rd marriage. You have 2 small kids. You're together for 15 years, married for 18. You're holding on for dear life, and you realize you or him are not happy. You eventually leave and face poverty. You're suddenly faced with 1 income. You have to manage. In a small town, you feel ashamed, hurt, embarrassed. You don't even want to get out of bed. You don't want to show up for work, but you have to live. You start brainstorming on how to make extra income. Okay, then my son was suffering from eczema. I used to go and get that big hard tub of shea butter from the hair store. Every time you had to heat it up, it had a very earthy smell. So my son was going through puberty. He was like, "Mom, this smells horrible. I don't even want to do this anymore." But the medication that the dermatologist was giving him was burning his skin. It was actually not really fit for African Americans for their skin because it gave it appearance of being burnt. So I brainstormed, I researched, and I started whipping the shea butter. Then eventually I had a garden. And I came up with a way to infuse those herbs that I was growing and made essential oils. So I took that and whipped that with the shea butter, and I started using medicinal and therapeutic essential oils, and I came up with a product to actually help eczema. I worked at an assisted living facility, and I started bringing it to work using it on the elderly patients. Also, of course, the nurses started using it. They say, "You know what, Miss Paula, I would actually buy this product from you if you started selling it." And I'm like, "Really?" So it took off. It was in demand. It started flying. That's all that consumed me, was working on this product. And of course, I still had to work. So I started working nonstop. I lost myself and embrace the fact that I had found my passion. Okay, so this made me have to show up to meetings. I had to go to trade shows. I had to learn how to talk to people again. I had to come out of my shell. And this in turn built my confidence because I had to show up and show out. I had to get all dressed up when I didn't want to get dressed up. Remember, I suffered from PTSD. I didn't even want to get out of bed. But this in turn built my confidence. Eventually, I gained my LLC, and eventually I even had a store. And this brings me to number 2, how to tap into your passion. You see, doing this work and showing up and having to show out, I tapped into my passion. It was no longer a job to me. It was my purpose in life. So that's what made me overcome. I say, if you find your passion, you'll never work again a day in your life. And I felt accepted. It built my self-confidence. And then that way I go to number 3. How to start over at any age. You see, I was making my product. I eventually opened the store, but it wasn't doing as great as I thought it would be. People stopped showing up. What do they need to show up for if I had an online store? All right. the people just stopped showing up. Okay, my brother came to visit me from Seattle. He said, you know, Paula, you have a great product here, but you know how slow it is in Mississippi. It's very stagnant. And it was. I had gotten to a point where I stayed in my car a couple of nights, and my shop owner said, you know what? You know, I talked to him. He said, don't give up your shop. Don't give up your dream. So I started sleeping in my shop because I faced eviction. Yes, I had suffered another blow, but I said, I'm going to keep going. And then this is my purpose in life. This is my passion. So I say you can start over at any age. Okay, I agree with my brother. He said, you know what, Paula, you work hard, you save up enough money, and you can come and stay with me. So yes, I drove over 3,000 miles. I did it scared and praying all the way. It was a blessing in disguise. I didn't know what I was going to face, but yes, I moved in December. I started working in February, and I eventually got my own place. Lo and behold, COVID hit. I was faced with being secluded and by myself because, of course, my brother had a family and I worked at a medical facility. I was a manager there. And of course, I didn't want to possibly bring COVID to him. So I had to go to and from work and stay here a whole year and just work on my product. I went to work, came home, worked on my product. And when I first got here, my brother was like, you know, marijuana is legal here. You should come up with a CBD line. And I said that actually literally driving here. I said, you know what? In a year, I'm going to come up with a CBD line. Eventually, I had a whole line of products. I had my online store was doing great. I started writing wholesale agreements. I am all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast, and of course, the southern borders. I had overcame. Yes, I said I have overcame. What I did was I say you could start over at any age. I am now 52, but I started over. Like I said, I drove over 3,000 miles with only my clothes in my car and my lab. Of course, my beloved lab. I had to carry that lab with me. Okay, so I came up with the CBD line, online stores, and I was living my dream and my passion. Okay, from there, like I said, I have wholesale agreements. I'm writing books. I'm no longer an introvert. I know how to speak to people. I overcame some of my PTSD through counseling. And my product has, like I said, it built my confidence. Remember, you can overcome. As long as you have breath, you can start over. Don't be afraid. But I say if you are afraid, do it afraid. Show up and show out. Remember, you always have a chance to start over. Okay, now I'd like to offer you a small gift. I'd like to, if you would dial 1-800-396-6113, that's 1-800-396-6113. Text your first name, your last name, your email address, and hashtag transition21. That's hashtag transition21, and I'll send you a small gift. Or you can also go to www.therealsheaqueen.com. That's www.therealsheaqueen.com. That's www.therealsheaqueen.com, and use pound transition 21 for 21% off. Thank you. It's been real. Remember, as long as you live your passion, you could find your purpose, live your dream, and start over at any age in life. Be blessed.